What is up, everybody? Michael here, bringing another video today. Today, I'm super duper pumped for another episode of Chew on This. And today we got the Wildman himself, Josh Macuga. What's up, Josh? How you doing?
What's going on, man? Nothing, dude. How you doing?
Good. It's been cold in California, but that's okay. It's been a
Cold
bit
and
rainy
rainy,
too.
man. Cold
Oh
and
yeah,
rainy.
very unusual for us California
Weird.
boys, but that's all right.
Weird.
That's all right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna just go through a bunch of questions. If you guys don't know what Chew on This is, it's where I interview other YouTubers about their passions, primarily entertainment. Since we got Josh on, of course we're gonna talk some movies.
All
So
right.
Josh, if you could, is there like a moment in your life or a film that you could point to that got you into film?
Yeah, Indiana Jones: Last Crusade. That was the first time my parents took me to a movie. That was, I mean, what year is Last Crusade? '89, I think.
Yeah, it's a while back.
Yeah. So I was like 6, 7. Hold on, let me look at the IMDb here. But I remember being in the movie theater thinking, first of all, I want to be Indiana Jones. Second of all, you know, I want to go home, and I begged my parents to take me to see, because Last Crusade was PG-13, but I think Temple of Doom was R, maybe, and they didn't want me to see like the monkey brains and whatever. So I remember going to Last Crusade and thinking, God, the movies are just the freaking best. Yeah, '89 was Last Crusade. So, yeah, that was it. And after that, it just, I mean, every Friday, Saturday night, we went to Blockbuster. Obviously, I'm showing my age, but you know, I was a big movie family. Went to movies all the time. Just, I've always been obsessed with movies and TV. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm right with you there. At around age 8 or 9, I've probably said this before, Fight Club. I saw it for the first time on TV, and I fell in love. It's awesome film.
I remember being with my buddies, Eric and Max, in high school, and we watched Fight Club incessantly. Didn't even know, obviously, when it hit theaters, because it was such a small movie and it wasn't like well received. And then we watched it on DVD all the time. Yeah.
Such a good movie. Awesome movie. First movie in my Blu-ray collection, actually.
Hell yeah.
So, on YouTube currently, you are obviously a part of the Schmoes and Collider and all that, but I'd also like to know about Between the Sheets. How'd you come up with that idea? It's a fun, inventive little show. So what gave you the idea? Where did it start
Between
from?
the Sheets is now the Josh Macuga show. Yeah, I mean, me and a buddy started doing that show live at the Improv way back when it was, they had this little theater next to the main stage. It was called the Lab. It's back, but it's not as big as it used to be. It's much smaller, so you couldn't really fit a talk show. But our buddy was running the stage, and he was like, whenever you guys want to put a show together, great. So me and my buddy had been talking about doing a talk show forever. So, you know, still have a ton of friends in stand-up, in the stand-up community. Figured it was a much different show than it is now. Obviously, you know, one, sometimes two guests, you know, just talking about whatever. But back then it was, you know, we did a stand-up set, interviewed them, and we kept the people on the show. By the end of the show, there was 3, sometimes 4 people talking, hanging out, shooting the shit, just doing a live talk show. And then when the Improv Lab closed, we brought it inside my apartment, built a stage out. We couldn't find another live venue that was as willing to work with us, with cameras, size of crowd, sound, all that kind of stuff that you have to put together for a live talk show. So we put it inside my apartment, and then it's grown since then. You know, started in 2013. So yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah. So I know that you also like to do a lot of interviews outside of the Josh Macuga show, involving celebrities and whatnot.
Sure.
As a fellow interviewer, how does it go, man, when you just, you know, your questions, not to say that you're a bad interviewer, not to throw anyone under the bus at all, but
I'm guessing you're talking about the Tobey Maguire interview?
Of course I am. Of course I am. How do you take it? Like, what do you do? Do you just throw away the questions, or what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes some celebrities are awesome. You know, Rene Russo, Jake Gyllenhaal. A lot of times they're really, really cool. What a lot of people don't know when going into interviews for press junkets or press lines or red carpets or whatever, their PR people meet you first, and they say, you know, you can't ask this, you can't ask this, you can't ask this, or sometimes they don't say anything at all. Have fun. They'll answer whatever. Tobey Maguire, notorious for being that dude. You know, I had all these questions lined up. I usually like to do rapid fire, have a good time, and his PR came and gave me a laundry list of things that I could not ask him. So I didn't like the movie, and I was pretty I was pretty hungover, and I had a couple drinks before the interview, and I just was like, you know what, fuck this. I didn't even like. I hated Spider-Man 3, and I was
sticking to him after that one. Yeah.
And this movie, and he's always been known as such an asshat throughout the industry, and he just proved it. And you know, a lot of people saw me kind of floundering in that interview, but to be honest with you, I had so many questions loaded up to go in there and kind of have fun with him, and he just did not want anything to do with that. And I think he knew that movie was about to bomb because it was doing so poor in the ratings or in the pre-reviews, whatever. Did not go my way that day, but hey, you live, you learn.
And not any fault of your own. You handled it much better than I would have or anyone else would have. What could you really do in that situation, you know?
Yeah.
So 2016 just ended. Any highlights in terms of film for you? I can name a couple off the top of my head. Nocturnal Animals is my favorite of the year.
Yeah, Nocturnal Animals was really good.
Yeah, Moonlight, stuff like that was awesome.
Moonlight was great. I really, really loved Lion. I thought Lion was fantastic.
I haven't got a chance to see that yet.
Yeah, Lion's fantastic. For a guy that has a brother, and I have a cousin that was adopted, the story hit really close to home. So it was a really powerful movie. I thought Moonlight was well done. I mean, I understand the story, but I really wish that the movie would have centered more on Marsha Ali than it did like the kid's life. But that's the movie. My favorite movie by far of the year was Sing Street. You know, early 2016, JTE had told me, you know, you got to watch Sing Street. You got to watch Sing. I've probably seen Sing Street 10 times since then, maybe more.
Wow.
Love the music, love the story, love the kids, love the casting. Just awesome. Just awesome.
Yeah. Anything from last year that everyone's raving about that you didn't particularly care for?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've made my feelings known about La La Land.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's like SNL did that sketch, but I saw La La Land. And, you know, Scott Mantz went crazy for it. I saw a really early screener of the movie. I was lucky enough to, you know, when you work in this industry, you sometimes luck out and get to see movies really, really early. And I thought that movie. I mean, incredibly overrated. We're praising Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling for learning how to averagely dance and sort of learn the piano. The only thing that really made that movie was like that one moment at the end. It's Damien Chazelle trying to force jazz music down our throats again, just like Whiplash.
Yeah.
Living in LA, I mean, you know, if there was somebody dancing on the 405, I'd lose my effing mind.
Oh, Jesus, don't even get me started, dude.
And it also doesn't help that I am not a musical fan at all. I understand. You know, I have a lot of friends that are in musical theater, and they'll fight me on this one. But you know, they train their whole lives, and then you get Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. I understand they push numbers, they're movie stars, whatever. But you have people that have trained their whole lives to do what they did, and they were given, you know, like the most professional training in all the world, same as like a Black Swan or all this shit. That's why I loved a show like Flesh and Bone. Was they took real ballerinas and they put them in the role. You can do that on TV. You can't really do that in movies because you have to sell tickets. But La La Land, really, I mean, it was just a movie about Hollywood. Yes, there are auditions. Yes, people catch breaks. But reality is that, like, oh, if you chase your art, you can't have a personal life outside of that. You can have both, but they are stressing that, you know, Hollywood wins if you want Hollywood to win. If you don't want Hollywood to win, then you settle for life. I didn't like the message of the movie. I thought there was one good moment in the whole movie. Other than that, it was a very, very, very average story. Same as I thought about that silent movie 3 years ago, The Artist. We've seen it a million times.
I did not care for The Artist at all.
It was very average. I understand the directing and what it took to shoot that opening scene.
Yeah, definitely.
And like the cool things of La La Land and the song. I mean, even to me, if you were to go back and watch Sing Street out music La La Land, friggin' hand over fist. And I would have, you know, I know that it's so well liked by just about everybody, but you know, if it wins the Oscar, I won't be upset, but I'll just be like, you know, here you go.
It happened.
But I think with how white the Oscars have been the last 2 years, and you know the way diversity is going, and there's finally some really good movies in the Oscars that are worthy of a Best Picture. I think Moonlight, even more so. Hidden Figures, I loved Hidden Figures. I think either one of those are worthy candidates as opposed to La La Land. So.
Yeah. Okay. So I know you are a sucker for action movies, as am I.
Fuck yes. I
could go for T2. You know. Disturbing Behavior, all those classic 90s, 80s action movies. So
hell yes.
What are some of your guilty pleasures? Some that someone may not agree on with you, but who the fuck cares? You love it anyway.
Commando, Arnold Schwarzenegger classic. Just the whole movie is him just saying one-liners because he still had such a thick accent that they couldn't have him do like thick dialogue. So it was just one-liners. Love Face Off.
Face Off is so good, dude.
I mean, Bad Boys 2 is legit one of my favorite movies in general, but it's also an incredible action movie. I love the first Bad Boys 2. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are awesome together. You know, Rambo First Blood. Some of the early Delta Forces are incredible. I mean, Jean Van Damme's entire collection, Bloodsport, Sudden Death, Hard Target, awesome. Some of those early Seagulls, like Out for Justice, Hard to Kill, those are incredible. Seagal's Under Siege, really, really good. Obviously, I mean, Die Hard is the only two.
Yeah, it's quintessential. I mean, come on.
It's an action movie and a Christmas movie. And in my opinion, Hans Gruber is the best villain in movie history. Even Die Hard with a Vengeance. Die Hard 2 is okay. Die Hard with a Vengeance is awesome. Fuck, dude, I could go on forever about action movies. I love it. Cobra is on my DVR right now. I recorded it to try and make my fiance watch it. She will not. So, yeah.
Oh, I know the feeling when you try to show someone that you immensely care about a film and they just don't get it. They're just
do not get it at all. Yeah.
I love you, but I can't sit through this.
I mean, I could go on for days. Some of those, like Nicolas Cage stuff in like the mid '90s was really good. You know, like some of those Denzel Washington, Tony Scott movies, like Man on Fire.
Oh, Man on Fire is a good one.
Friggin' incredible. So, yeah, I run the gamut. I'll watch whatever. I think that's been a real issue for me in the last few years is we really haven't had an amazing action movie, maybe since like Raid 2.
I just watched that like 2 nights ago.
Yeah, that movie's so good.
So fucking good.
They're just like, I'd like to look at a list of action movies. I mean, John Wick, obviously.
Coming out this week, so
yeah,
I have to look any further.
The whole office has seen it tonight. Unfortunately, I think I've seen it in like 2 days, but John Wick was like a fucking vision. Thank you. And I really hate the remakes of my classics, like Point Break. Love Point Break. I should have mentioned that in the first one. The original Point Break is so good, and the remake was, it was a travesty.
The new Point Break was just something else. I mean,
it was just ESPN X Games footage. It was so
basically
so silly. Yeah.
And I hate Luke Bracey, the main guy. I hate him. I don't know. His face just.
I don't necessarily like hate him, but he's never been in anything that I've liked. So they keep casting him and shit, and I'm like, yeah.
Well, have you seen Hacksaw Ridge? Because he was pretty okay in that. I won't.
Yeah, you're right. I was thinking, what movie did I just see him in? Yeah, Hacksaw Ridge. He was actually pretty redeemable. I'll give you Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we're in 2017, stuff you're pumped for. I mean, we got a huge bunch of blockbusters. Talking about action movies, we got a whole bunch of them this year. So anything.
John Wick 2 is going to be sick. I've heard nothing but good things about John Wick 2. I heard Lego Batman movies really good. Man, I got to look at my list of like most anticipated of 20. Obviously, anytime for the next 500 years they're going to make Star Wars movies. So, excited about Star Wars. What else is coming? This Kong Skull Island looks pretty cool. I'm obviously looking at a lot of action TV. Iron Fist coming up here pretty soon is going to be awesome. The Defenders. Yeah, fuck. I got to look at my list of 2017. If you rattle off some titles, I can tell you.
I mean, just this month alone, we got Get Out, which looks awesome.
Yeah.
Next month, Logan.
Yeah, Logan does look badass, man.
That first trailer just is fucking amazing.
Blew my mind. Yeah,
I know, it was insane. And
it's like I hope that Hugh Jackman goes out like a quarterback winning the Super Bowl right before he retires, because that movie looks fucking great. Yeah, it looks awesome. And then later down the year, we got Spider-Man: Homecoming, Guardians 2. Yeah, Guardians 2.
Lots.
I really hope that Wonder Woman and Justice League are good.
Me too, man.
Nothing more than those movies to be good. I don't have a lot of hope. I'll be honest with you. I don't have a ton of hope for Spider-Man: Homecoming. I'll be totally honest with you.
Really?
I mean, I know everybody's freaking out and like the trailer, and they're putting Iron Man in there, but I don't know, something about like Spider-Man, been there, done that I'm just like, I've seen it. Let's go. I'm more looking forward to Black Panther than Spider-Man.
Okay. I mean, I'm with you there. I'm very nervous because that first trailer, I did not love it as much as everyone else did. So I like Tom Holland though, so I'm cool. Really interested to see where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, if it bombs, at least he's still part of the MCU, and we can see him.
Infinity War. For sure. Yeah. So now that you are the king of movie trivia, how do you fucking prep for that? I can't even imagine going through a bill because you don't know what they're gonna ask you. So how do you even prep for something so grand?
I watch a lot of movies and I retain knowledge on You know, I watch Jeopardy every night, and my lady in my life is always just stunned at the useless knowledge that I retain in my brain. And it just so happens it also works really well with movies and TV. And so, yeah, there's no real way to prepare because you either know it or you don't. And so, you know, a lot of the newer releases I'm decent on. I mean, action adventure I'm great on, rom-coms I'm great on. Some of the, like, you know, when they said Oscar movies for the Finstock match, I'm never really good with the Oscars because if they ask anything before like 70s or directors, I'm not great with directors. But if you're talking about stars or plots or like character names, I'm usually pretty spot on. But there is, like, for a Schmodown, there's so many categories, there's so many questions. You just have to know. You just have to know your shit. And, you know, I obviously have my weaknesses. Quentin Tarantino movies, horror movies, some of the things that pop up on that wheel, movie release dates. I mean, I will get every one of those wrong unless I guess them. I don't know movie release dates that well. So, yeah, that's tough.
I mean, seeing as many movies as you do, I can't even imagine trying to memorize release dates. It must be tough.
Yeah.
So we've touched on this a little bit prior. Favorite movies. I mean, you mentioned Bad Boys 2, obviously Indiana Jones movies, Star Wars.
Yeah. You know, I have a very eclectic taste. When I say favorite movies, I'm movies that I can watch and rewatch all the time. I never get bored, or movies that pop up on TV, and even with commercials, I'll stick through commercials to watch it. Even like edited for language, I'll watch. So I love the rewatchability factor of a movie like Bad Boys 2, of a movie like Braveheart, of a movie like Shawshank Redemption. I mean, anything mob style. So Goodfellas, Casino. I love Martin Scorsese movies, but I'm like half and half on most of his stuff. So I don't love. I mean, Raging Bull is good. It's just such a depressing movie.
Horribly sad movie.
You can't. Doesn't have like a ton of rewatchability. I appreciate it for its place in history, but it's not the. It doesn't have the rewatchability factor for me like a Goodfellas, like a Blow. I love Blow. Again, some of those action movies I mentioned before, love those. I can watch the original Indiana Jones trilogy in a row, no matter what, any time of day. If it's on, Temple of Doom, Raiders, Last Crusade, love. I could watch anything of, like, again, if it's got explosions and it's somewhat decent, like, you know, some Michael Bay stuff. Like, I'll even watch Gone in 60 Seconds when it's on TV.
Yeah, because I came in Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah, I mean, they're all fun movies. And I know that, like, I get like crushed for liking cheesy movies and like but that's just my taste. I don't, you know, it's for like French cinema isn't my thing. You know, a lot of indie movies aren't my thing. I could rattle you off the plot line to an indie movie as it starts. None of those movies really shock me, but like any of the Fast and Furious movies are super fun. I think it's when the movies like take advantage of the audience a little bit too much, and it's just all explosions and there's no plot and there's no good dialogue. Like, give me some good dialogue. I want the plot to move along. It just doesn't have to be action explosion. Give me some character thing, which is why I like John Wick so much, because yes, it was crazy and he killed everybody, but at the end of the day, it was just a man avenging his dog, and I dug that. I think that's such a simple thing, but it's awesome. You know,
definitely with you there. Simple, you know, a lot of the time is better. I don't like these crazy, complicated plots of action movies that don't really go anywhere. Xander Cage, I liked the movie because it's just a fun, dumb movie, but the story was just so bad.
And the dialogue was even worse.
Horrible.
I think probably like the best couple movies of the last couple of years are 21 and 22 Jump Street, because they're funny, the plot's awesome, and there's those movies. Funny. It's like, I think that's what they're trying to do with Chips and Baywatch. I don't know if they'll hit it. I will go see both movies, but yeah.
I'm hesitant about Chips, but Baywatch I'm definitely all in for.
Dude, it's The Rock. I mean,
you can't go wrong. Come on.
The best. Yeah.
So you mentioned mob movies. I wasn't originally going to talk about this, but did you get a chance to see Live by Night this January? Because I did. You didn't? Oh, you did?
Yeah. I
haven't talked to anyone that has seen the film other than yourself now, and I hated that movie.
It wasn't. It's shocking that Ben Affleck, like, that's his
passion project.
That was his passion project. That this is what we got. I was kind of lucky enough to see an extended cut because my buddy was in the movie and they cut all of his scenes.
Really?
So he showed me an extended cut. We sat down and watched it, and he was like, honest opinion. I was like, yeah, your scenes were good, but this movie's not very good. He's like, yeah, I'm kind of glad they cut me out of it because that was supposed to be like his big breakout role in a Ben Affleck movie, and his scenes were fine, but the movie itself wasn't. It's just, we've been there. It's hard to do. I really find it hard to do the 20s prohibition mobster movie any better than what they did with Untouchables. And I think we've been there, done that with the mob movie. You really have to go like a movie like Black Mass. Black Mass sucked, man. It just wasn't very good. And that's a true story. And you know, this one that's coming out that Martin Scorsese's been trying to do with De Niro, Pacino, where he's going to do that technology where he masks their face and makes them younger and then ages them. We'll see how that goes. But I thought Live by Night was such a disappointment, and I could have told you that from the trailer. The movie just looked bad. Yeah, I knew. But you're like, well, it's Affleck, and he usually does great things, and that's why I think he took the hit on Live by Night so hard, and he's having such trouble with the Batman. Is, you know, at the end of the day, we all have egos, and his ego is a fucking Hollywood ego, man. And and when Warner Brothers is telling them they don't like this, they don't like this, he wants to say, I'm Affleck, and they can say, well, yeah, you just did Live by Night. Look how that happened. So, you know. The timing of Live by Night couldn't have been worse, and also the timing of how the DC universe is looking couldn't have been worse.
No, it's the worst possible time for that movie to drop. And I, on the other hand, was very pumped for it. I saw the trailer, thought it was good, went into it, and within the first 20 to 30 minutes, I kind of knew we were in for something not.
It's a boring movie.
So hot. It was a boring movie, and there were a lot of scenes that were very similar. There'd be they would sit down on a table, Ben Affleck would put a gun on the table, someone would go, "Oh, okay," and then we'd move on to the next scene.
Yes, yeah.
I mean,
that movie Silence, that Scorsese movie, that movie.
I'm with you on that one too. I did not care for Silence, and I'm a huge Scorsese fan.
I fell asleep twice in one movie. Like, I fell asleep, woke back up, fell back asleep. The movie was so boring. I felt like Martin Scorsese was like, oh, people will sit through anything I do. Well, this one was a real boner.
Which was so surprising because got a huge cast for both movies. Really good cast. Good visuals in the film. I mean, the visuals were amazing in both.
Adam Driver and Andrew Garfield. It's like three
of the best actors right now that you got. They added.
I was just hoping Liam Neeson would have been like, "All right, I've got a particular set of skills," and then he takes out the whole Spanish missionary or the Japanese missionary, whatever it was. Yeah. I know so few details about that movie because I just stopped paying attention.
Yeah, that was me during Assassin's Creed. I fell asleep 4 times during that movie.
That might be one of the worst movies I saw in 2016, for sure.
That might be the worst movie I've ever seen, dude. That was such a disappointment to me.
I mean, I felt like it's like Fantastic Four. The writers came in and they were like, let's just improv a movie and see what happens. We're not going to have an ending. We'll just figure it out.
And the fucking action scenes in that, you could tell that there was something there almost. And then they would just show Michael Fassbender in the machine dancing around a little bit.
Silly.
So odd. So odd.
Yeah.
So we're closing out here a little bit. So have you, as a YouTuber, creatively, have you reached all your goals, or do you have more that you want to do with this medium?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I want my show to be on TV, you know, or on a bigger, with a bigger budget, so we can, do bigger stunts and have more fun with the Josh Macuga show. I think, with the writing team over at Collider, we're doing some awesome stuff with Awesome Tacular and with TV Talk and Movie Talk and, what we have going on over there with some awesome things coming down the pike. And, yeah, I mean, I have a ton of goals I've yet to reach. I think you have to set goals every year or every 6 months, however often you want to set goals. When you reach them, you keep moving on. But I've always been a hardworking dude and a guy that just does not like to settle for anything. So
I'm with you.
Finally getting some creative outlets to do some stuff and some budgets to do some things. So yeah, 2017 was pretty awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah, I just want to say super proud of you guys. I've been with you guys since maybe like 2011, 2010.
Wow. Nice,
and
man. Thank you.
The progression has been amazing. I couldn't be happier with what you guys are doing. So
started a little operation and now we're here. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So thank you guys for keeping me entertained all these years, I guess.
Dude, thank you for watching. Without you guys, we are nothing. So
yeah. So any tips for YouTubers that want to get into this, creatively in this creative space?
I think any YouTuber will probably tell you, be consistent, upload all the time, upload as much as you can, but also upload quality stuff.
Definitely.
I mean, I have 2 producers that work with me on the Josh Macuga show, and we are all so busy that, we used to be weekly, now we're bi-weekly. So working on a couple different things all within, at the desk or more answering fan questions, doing some more like rants, who knows. but always just like staying active on social media, always uploading, but reaching out to other YouTubers, try and create a community around yourself, and you can't be anybody different. And I've never been a fan of those channels that their star is some kind of character that they play. I get it, but if I couldn't make it on my own merit, and people didn't like me me for who I was, and I wasn't putting out like honest content in myself, I don't think I'd be doing this anymore. I think it's really important that people can see a window into your soul, into yourself, while also reserving a little bit for your own self-sanity, but at the same time, always just going forward. You can't let, the hard part about the internet and YouTube and social media is nobody, and in life, not everybody's going to love you, and not everybody's going to even like you. Is that a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people out there, they only focus on the negative things that people say. If you focus on the positive that people say and say, I really don't care what the haters have to say, or maybe if it's constructive criticism, take it as a good thing. But you can't look at the negative. If you focus on the negative, you'll drive yourself insane. So again, just keep on keeping on, man.
Definitely. And I got a quick. Are you familiar with buy or sell? A game
about
buy or sell?
Of course.
We're gonna do a quick buy or sell, and then we're gonna call it and plug some stuff, and then sign off here. So buy or sell 80s versus 90s action movies. If you could pick a catalog.
Oh God.
I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna take 80s simply because the practical effects were a lot different, and I feel like the 90s went too far into the CGI, and the scripts were a lot better because you weren't trying to. There was way more one-liners. The guys were harder, and I think they knew what they were getting themselves into. In the 90s, they started writing these diabolical scripts and all this stuff, and it didn't work in a lot of movies. You had your few and far betweens, like your Face-Offs, your Demolition Mans, all this stuff, but those 80s action movies really set the standard for what we are today.
All right, and then I got DC or Marvel. I know DC's not been doing so hot lately, but in terms of what do you enjoy more personally, potential-wise as well?
Well, I love the MCU. I think that the last few have been a real reawakening for me of Marvel movies, because I got really tired right around Thor, The Dark World, I thought Avengers Age of Ultron really lost me, but then I loved Ant-Man. I loved Civil War. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed Doctor Strange. Didn't think I would like Doctor Strange as much as I did. And I'm looking forward to. I think that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has definitely had an ebb and flow. I can't wait for Black Panther. I think that's going to be a real highlight for me. And I really hope that they do. I hope Captain Marvel, that female-led movie turns out awesome, because I'd love to see a Black Widow movie.
Yeah. I did a little bit of a different question here. Justice League versus The Fate of the Furious. Because I know you're a sucker for those big action movies.
God dang. Dude, I'm going to go Fate of the Furious. I want to see that fight with Statham and The Rock in prison.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I hope it's like 15 minutes, just the hardest punches ever. I can't wait. Yeah. I know I'm going to get hate for that, but I have just a sneaking suspicion that Justice League is going to underwhelm.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I mean, I would definitely pick
Fate. I don't want it to underwhelm, like I said.
No, yeah, definitely. No. But sadly, we'll see.
Yeah.
Logan or Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2?
Ugh.
I know I'm hitting you with the hard balls here, man.
I've been such a fan of Wolverine, and I love that trailer, and I love like a swan song of a movie, that I'm gonna go Logan, but just barely. I think Guardians 2 is gonna be great, but Guardians 1 is really tough to live up to. So
yeah. We got two more here. Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Well, lately, I think Stallone has really stayed in his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I think career-wise, I've loved most everything Stallone has done. I know there's obviously some highs and lows in there, but you can't ignore the Rocky franchise when you're talking about either one of them. So I'm gonna go Stallone.
All right, and one final one. It's very timely because we just had the Super Bowl come about, and I see you're wearing a Steelers hoodie here.
Yeah.
Who are you rooting for yesterday?
Oh God, I was rooting for Atlanta hardcore. I wanted Atlanta to win. I don't like the Patriots. I don't like their franchise. Not a big fan of Tom Brady. They always beat my Steelers. I respect the fact that they always win, but yeah, no way will I ever root for a Patriots franchise.
Such a fucking close game, dude. It was so close by a hair.
It really was. I know. Yep.
All right, we are about to sign off here. So thank you, Josh, for coming on. Anything you want to plug before we go off here, man?
Yeah, I mean, you guys can always watch Collider TV Talk every Monday, the Josh Macuga Show every other Wednesday. Just check out my channel, the Josh Macuga Show on YouTube. I'm uploading all kinds of stuff. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh Macuga.
Man, thank you for coming on. It's been a hell of a time.
Oh, yeah, man.
Thank you for even giving me a chance here. I know a lot of people wouldn't come and do this, and I appreciate you out of the kindness of your heart to come and do this. So,
dude, I know what it's like. Just keep working hard, doing your thing, dude.
For sure, man. Anyway, guys, I'm Michael Chu. You can obviously find me on my channel, Michael Chu. I'm on Letterboxd. I just started posting reviews there. You can follow me on Twitter, Michael Chu for Real, as well as my Facebook page, also Michael Chu for Real, and my Instagram, Michael Chu 2017. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Chew on This. The more you guys watch it, the more I'm able to get guys like Josh on, and it's a fun time, and I'll try to keep it going as much as I can. I know you guys really like the past couple episodes, so we will keep it going as much as we can. Like I said, Josh, thank you for coming on, man.
You got it, buddy.
And we're saying peace. Later, guys.
Good luck.